as a manager, I've been looking at things that have been happening with artists recently, and artists saying things and doing things that people make people upset, intentionally or not. So recently, Jack Harlow has been rolling out a new record.
Oh, Jack.
Old Jackie Harlow. And people have been heavily critical of his approach to how he's been rolling out the new album.
Yeah.
He did an interview with John Carmichael from New York Times and some other white dude, which, first of all, I'm going to start out with this. The optics of that interview that even everybody's talking about is wrong.
Yeah.
Because you got this white guy. John has been writing
John's my
hip-hop
man,
for the
too.
whole
It's
time,
fucked
right?
up. That's the homie.
John is like, he's been writing about hip-hop for
one of the most
half a
respected
century,
journalists that we still
right?
have around, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah.
He's a highly respected journalist,
Period.
knows what he's talking about. But
Great.
by nature of his birth, by the lottery of his birth, he was born a white man.
He was.
Right? Not his fault. Nothing wrong
His
with it.
name ends in a vowel and he's not Nigerian.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You got this other white guy who I don't know, but I assume if he's up there having a conversation with an artist that's successful as Jack Harlow, he's earned his place.
Right.
He's another white guy.
Right.
Then you got Jack Harlow, another white guy. So you got three white guys.
Three whites.
Three whites.
Three whites.
Accomplished
Crazy.
in the black space and respected in the black space.
Yes.
Talking about how black Jack Harlow, there's not one nigga in the room for this conversation, because if
I don't
one
even know
black
if that
dude
would have made it better though.
if there's one black dude in the room when he said my music is sounding blacker,
Yeah.
there would have been at least a joke made or some sort of
I think the point he was trying to make. If I'm just being like, if I'm making way for some kind of understanding, I think the point he was trying to make, and it took me a minute to realize that because I watched it like 4 times before.
Oh, me too.
Before I called my nigga Lakey, I had to call Lake like, yo, what's up, man? So, but I think the point he was trying to make was, we often, it's the whole Post Malone thing or Kid Rock thing where you start with these, hip hop nuances or influence. You actually rapping and wearing gold chains and shit, and then by your third album and some success, you decide to be a country artist and abandon that.
Van Lathan calls them white vacationers.
Right.
He said they take
So
a
I think
vacation in black culture.
He was
and then
trying
they go back white.
he was trying to pinpoint the fact that I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going. I didn't do what those other artists did. I actually went blacker, but it just don't.
But you know why? Because
right.
if he had actually popped up with, and I'm not saying this because I want to do a song with Jack Harlow. That's not the end of this. But if he had popped up with a song with Talib or a song with Common or a song with, instead of just the hat.
So you don't want to do.
You know what I'm saying? He like dressed like nigga.
So are you telling me that Talib Kweli doesn't want to do a song with Yakub Kweli?
Listen.
Oh my
Yakub
God.
Kweli.
Yakub Kweli, bro. That's so wild.
That's what they called him. Here's some other names that they called him. They called him Link Condition. They called him Neo-Colonial Soul.
That shit was hilarious.
They called him Music Stole Child.
IRS one, and IRS one.
Most definitely not.
Which is fucking hilarious.
They called him White Thought.
Yeah.
Ghostface Vanilla.
IRS one and Slum Privilege was the best one.
Slum Privilege. I like that one. But it's just, it's like you wearing it as a costume. And I'll tell you a story from People's Party States. So this podcast is very black and very independent, right? On purpose. People's Party, I loved working on People's Party. I still have great relationships with all the Up Rocks people, and shout out to Jared and everybody who was involved in it, but also is also very corporate. So they let me do stuff, but I had to explain shit. So if I wanted to have Aja Monet, or we had Tori Russell on, right? For me to have
when I
Tory,
saw that episode, I said, "Damn, do Talib got a boss up there? Like, he wild."
Right, but I had to go and tell them, explain to them this is who this guy is, and this is why it's important for me to have this. You know what I'm saying? And it was a thing. And with this podcast, I don't have to do it. But also, they would come to me,
right? And
they'd be like, "Yo, we have to have this person on," right? And so one day they came to me, and they were like, "We have to have this dude, Jack Harlow." I was like, "Who is this?" He was like, "Yo, trust us, he's gonna blow." He's a white dude from Kentucky. He could rhyme, and I'm like, "Well, I know a lot of black dudes who can rhyme. Why can't? Because he's white. That's the reason we go.
Right.
Because that's what you're saying to me.
Right.
You're saying the deciding factor is because he's white, right? And I don't think y'all realize that's what y'all saying to me.
Right.
But that's exactly what y'all saying to me. Two white boys saying this to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they caught them. Say, oh, that is what we're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then they started.
Actually, this is what we're saying. So Monday, is that good or not?
Right. No, but then they started coming with the talking points. He works with this person, works with. So I did my research, and I'm researching him, and I decided to not do it because I was like, yo, if y'all putting all this effort into this white boy, and because you're telling me he's going to blow up, you could put the same effort into an artist of color who's not getting the. Because a lot of people think, a white person in hip hop, he's gonna have it harder. No. White person in hip hop's gonna have it easier. Macklemore says this. Mac Miller says this. Right. People already, the Rugged Man says this. Yeah. People who really about the hip hop, and Eminem says this. Eminem says, if I was black, I would have sold half.
Yeah.
Being white makes it easier for me.
He did say that. You're right.
So, I was like, why are we doing this for Jack Harlow? He'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's somebody else we could uplift. Let's go talk to an activist or something. And so then Jack Harlow comes out with the record with Tory Lanez and Lil Wayne, everybody on the record. And I really did like that record. So I remember being like, damn, maybe I should have did that.
I should have did.
Yeah.
Jack Harlow's dope. I need to follow
Jack
Jack
Harlow's
Harlow.
kind of dope, right?
Yeah.
But so then I was thinking, okay, maybe they was right about that one. But then the spirit, then I realized they wasn't right because then I saw footage of Jack Harlow during the Kentucky Derby being carried over the mud by his all-black crew. Right? Now, again, it's optics.
That didn't sit well with you?
It didn't sit well with me. It's optics. Like, these is young people.
Right.
They don't have the historical lens I got. And the Kentucky Derby, you have a white suit on, you want to get your shit dirty with the mud. Right. And if that's the dude who made it out the crew, yeah, we gonna lift our brother up. But bro, it's the optics of what it looked like. I'm sure they didn't look at it on some racist shit.
Right.
I'm sure they looked at it as we just helping the bro
I don't
out.
know if I've seen that clip.
But it's like
I
they
ain't
can't.
see that.
Now I need to see it.
He's going
I gotta
from
go
his
see it
trailer to
too.
the stage, and he got all these black dudes, and they carrying him, so his feet don't touch the ground like Jesus.
Shit.
Right? So he's like white hip hop Jesus, and all white Kentucky Colonel Sanders
At the Kentucky Derby.
with the Colonel Sanders on.
damn.
So now you look like a plantation owner too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The optics was terrible, bro.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't hold it against him because I was like, they didn't mean that.
Yeah.
It just looked bad,
It
right?
just look bad.
But then the song comes out. I don't want no whips and chains that
Oh
make
my
me
God,
down.
Kweli.
Now to my ear, I'm let me land this, as they say in the West Coast. Let me land this plane. You know what I'm saying? To my ear, a white boy talking about
Whips and
he don't
chains.
want the whips and chains. I know he talking about S&M. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's kinky, it's sexy. I get it.
And he says, I'm vanilla, baby.
And then you go, and thank you. I don't want no whips and chains. I'm vanilla, baby. So now you playing in my face. bro.
Detroit, but hey,
Now
it's
you
killer,
playing in my
baby.
face. Now, because now you, and I still don't think they doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
But there's
It's
a
not.
lack of historical perspective. There's a lack of conscious lensing. There's a lack of like someone around to be like, no. Like if you want to put on the Music Soul Child hat and the common pants, and you want to,
Technically, it's a Dwelle hat, but whatever.
you know what I'm saying?
Dwelle
You wanna
had
play-
his, whoa. Dwelle.
You could do that, right?
Yeah,
but bro, you got to go tap in with my Dukes.
Yeah.
You got to go sit with Dwelle. You got to sit with James Poyser. You got to sit with the Soul. You got to do it. And you might still get dissed.
Right.
But at least if you get dissed, like there's a lot of artists who, you know what I'm saying? Like you might still get dissed, but at least us would be like, nah, he tried though.
Yeah, I don't feel
what I'm saying?
bad for any scrutiny that he get. I think he's obviously part of what he did. I mean, you can't call the album My Nigga and not expect somebody to say
Yeah,
something.
did you know that part?
Wait,
Part
what now?
He didn't know that part.
Wait, what now?
I was gonna
The
bring
name of
that
the
up.
album is Monica.
Yeah, it's a joke
Say it slow.
from a white comedian who said
Say it slow.
people kept calling him Monica and he didn't
Say
know why.
Monica slow. Sound it out. Both syllables. All three syllables. My
Jack Harlow ain't got
nigga.
no friends.
My nigga.
This is
So-
the problem. Jack Harlow ain't got no friends, bro. Your
No, but-
friend's supposed to
but
tell
he
you.
does. So his manager, Lakey's my brother. Good dude, man.
He said,
from
no, he
LA.
does.
He does. He has friends. And I think people definitely, attempted to tell him, like, man, but it goes back to what we're talking about. And today, negative attention sometimes, it's a conversation starter. And I think the attention that he's getting, the conversation that he's got as a result of the name of the album and the sound of the album has actually benefited to people checking in, for better or for worse.
I feel like he gonna have a song with Chet Hanks in a
So,
second, bro.
Can I ask you this, Chase? When
Chet Hanks gonna be.
I told you my
Chet
answer.
and reggae
My
style.
answer is that Tef Poe's next album needs to be motherfucking heavy metal album, and we gonna call it Dwight.
And I'm gonna come out leather vest, no shirt on under the Johns.
Tef Poe Dwight.
But let me ask you this, bro. When a situation like this happens, right? Because I'm gonna preface this with this. I'm surprised that this is going this way with this Jack Harlow campaign, because he was actually kind of like one of the more respectable white MCs. You know what I'm saying? So when a situation like this happens, how much of it, from your perspective as an A&R and as an executive behind the scenes, is intentional, given the fact that it is such a data-driven game, it's such a clickbait-driven game, it's such a conversation-driven game? How much of it is like, fuck it, man, it's negative attention, but everybody's talking about it, so who gives a damn?
Jack Harlow is an extremely intelligent person. I think he's obviously a gifted artist, and I refuse to believe that he didn't know that all of this shit was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I think, he just, and to be honest, it takes a lot of balls to just be able to, like, fuck it. Like, what they going to say? Like, and then also, and Kweli going to love this, but it's also very indicative of the climate of America, or the world, when we live in a time where our president has said far worse, way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm Jack Harlow and I'm rationalizing it against what the motherfucker like Donald Trump says, it ain't so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So it doesn't make it any better, but it also is like, he's got the opportunity to justify it by, he's like, because on one hand, it's like, we're not putting him in the same category as a Donald Trump, right? Or perceivably, from his perspective,
there's levels to it.
So he's like, okay, so how bad is it? Monica, nigga, put that shit out.
What I think it is? It's the putting on the blackness and putting on the, not just blackness, right? But putting on positivity as a costume.
Which side are you on? Get off the fence, son. Which side are you on? Get off the bench, son.